Hello everyone, it's Phil, and in this video I will be reviewing and tweaking the game Screamer 2 from GOG.com. Now I've done similar videos in the past and they ended up very long-winded, so I'll promise I'll keep them shorter and more on the point, and I'll refer to my website for additional information for those people who want to find out a little bit more. So this is not just a review. I'll show you how to tweak the game. So this is for those who want to play it on a modern computer. Some tweaks there to be made. But I'll also show you how you can get the game to run on a vintage DOS retro gaming PC. And at the end, I'm going to talk a bit about the game and show a bit of gameplay footage. What's good about this release? It supports the software render, but also the 3dfx glide for better graphics. The audio CD tracks are uncompressed, and the full installation image is supplied, so you can actually burn it on a CD to play it on a real DOS gaming PC. What's not so good about this release is that the configuration uses a low sample rate for the audio, so I'm going to show you how to change that. There's no shortcut to actually run the 3dfx glide version, which is weird because it has all the configuration files for it. So I'll show you how to fix that. And there's also no manual, so I'll show you in a screenshot what the keys are. Okay guys, so let's quickly tweak the game. So in the game folder, we need to open the DOSBox Screamer 2 file. There's a DOSBox config file. Now, if your file looks all messed up, that's because you ran the launch graphic mode setup. I don't think there's an easy way to get the proper look back. You might have to uninstall the game and start from scratch. Okay, so a couple of things. Well, it's not too bad, and this release actually did quite good, but I'll definitely want to change the aspect ratio correction to true. Just make sure that the game is nice in the 4:3 aspect ratio, but this is really something we have to change. The sample rate, let's change that to 48,000, and also down here for the Sound Blaster, 48,000, and that's it. Then just go File, Save. And the other thing we want to change, you can see that there's a config file for 3dfx, for the glide mode, 3dfx glide mode, which is much nicer, high resolution, and looks a lot better. But there's no shortcut. There's a shortcut to launch Screamer, which links to this config file, but there's no shortcut to launch the game in 3dfx glide mode. So what we're doing is we're gonna copy paste the shortcut with Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, or right clicking copy pasting. So here's my copy, and then I right click rename. I'm just gonna call it 3dfx glide. And then we're gonna right click and go properties, and instead of launching the single config file, we're gonna launch the 3dfx config file. And there's one more step, nglide, that's the glide wrapper, which makes it all happen. Here we just change the graphic settings, so whatever your monitor resolution has, select that monitor resolution there. Aspect ratio, set it to 4:3, and everything else can be left as it is. Press apply, and that's really it. Okay, in the past I always showed the whole steps of how you can get your GG game running on your DOS retro gaming PC. This time I'm gonna make it a little bit shorter. I've put all the instructions on my website. Just go to philscomputerlab.com and then go to games, and at the moment there's only one game there, but I'm gonna add a lot more games in the future. And basically what you need to do, the image files are in the bin and queue format for audio CD tracks. You need to rename them. You also need to open one of the files with an editor and change a bit of text. Then you burn it onto a CD, and you put that CD into your retro gaming PC, and off you go. It's the proper full installation CD with lossless audio CD tracks as well. If you want to play with the 3dfx Voodoo card, I've included all the patches as well and the instructions. You just gotta put these files into the game folder, depending if you've got a Voodoo or a Voodoo 2 and later. So fairly straightforward stuff. Okay, let's do a little review. So, Screamer 2 was published in 1996, developed by Graffiti and published by Interplay. Back in the days, there weren't too many arcade racing games for the PC, and on the consoles there were a ton of games like Ridge Racer, Sega Rally, Daytona USA, and I think Graffiti thought, hey, why not bring a fast-paced arcade game to the PC? And this is it. The game has quite a bit to offer. There are 7 tracks in total. There's one in Finland, England, Colombia, Egypt, San Francisco and Switzerland. And there's a final track which I'm not gonna reveal. That is towards the end when you beat most of the championships. In terms of your cars, there are a couple of cars available. They all differ in terms of how to handle. The faster cards are a little bit harder to handle and they spin out of control. The slower cards, they stick more to the road and easier to handle. There are also bonus cards which you can unlock for each of your team. You can customize the settings of each car. You can change 6 parameters, for example, the handling, the brakes, the tire types, but also the tire pressure and the front and rear suspensions. The game allows you to save each of the settings in 4 saving slots. The game can be played alone, but also multiplayer, either in a network, split screen, or via null modem. If you don't know what that means, basically in the old days you could connect a serial cable, not a USB. It looked a bit different from one computer to the other, and you could play head to head. And if you had a LAN, a proper network, you could play with 4 players. If you don't have a network, you can play split screen, splitting the screen in 2 sides and basically playing together on one computer. A couple of game modes, single player, multiplayer, an arcade mode, and also the championship. But there's also a time attack mode where you basically try to improve your lap times and you race against yourself in the form of a ghost car. And that's really it. I think it's a really good game. It's definitely quite unique. There are not many arcade racing games available for the PC. It's a pretty good release. Just a minor tweaks were necessary to get the most out of the game. And in the 3DFX glide mode, thanks to N-Glide, the game looks absolutely fantastic. Okay, thanks for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. Spread the word if you're interested in seeing some more videos. Any comments or questions, feedbacks, just leave them down below in the comments.